Hi everyone, this is Rajvinder here with you from Ingram, the marketing lead. Today we have Rahul Bhavsar, the Director of Cloud Sales, and Ashwarya Jain, the Microsoft CSP specialist with us for the webinar on selling Office 365 with Microsoft CSP. So they will guide you through the entire deck, and just an update, the deck is available under the handout section so that you can go through it while the webinar is happening. So now I will pass over the command to Rahul, who will guide you through the beginning of the webinar session.
Thank you, Rajvinder. Hi everyone, this is Rahul. I hope everybody is able to hear me clear. If you are able to hear me clear, can you just confirm on your chat if everybody can hear me? Okay. Yes, thank you. So we'll get started. We'll break it in two pieces. I'll take over the in general introduction, and then I'll hand it over to Aishwarya, who will walk you through the actual CSP and Office 365 selling tips. So let's get started. So this is what we are going to go through it, a quick introduction. What is the program all about? What's the difference between CSP and open program? And the benefits of CSP program and how Ingram can help you to build your cloud business. And then we'll open up for a quick question and answers. We have repeated this session in past, so anybody who has attended our previous session, the slides are going to be similar, so this could be a brush-up session, but then we know that a lot more new attendees have joined us today. So let's get started. Just to quickly mention a few things, now starting August, we have started a bi-weekly webinar series, and this is one of them. So every Wednesday we have a We Sell series, which is the selling series. Wednesday sales, that stands for We Sell. And we have a schedule completely available on our website, ingrammicrocloud.me. And then the following week, alternate Tuesdays, we have Tech Tune, that is for technology or technical related webinars. So this is pre-filled schedule for next 2 months, 3 months, and that we are going to continue to ensure that we provide as much as knowledge to our partners so that they can sell better, they can implement better, and they can position the solutions better. Some of the schedule, just for your information out there, is on 7th of September, we have migration challenges and how Skype can help. Then we have 28th September, because there are some leaves coming in between. We have Azure with CSP, value positioning and scenarios. And then on 12th October, we have Acronis backup, and that's where we can position Acronis software and Azure on the cloud as a backup storage. So all the content, this content is available in the handout section on the right side of the panel. Recording has been started. It will be uploaded on YouTube by today evening, and then the link will be sent out to you over the email. For any queries, you can send us an email on sales@ingrammicrocloud.me. So just to quickly give you an introduction for those people who have not really clear about how we operate as Ingram Micro. Ingram Micro Cloud is a business unit, one of the business units, global business units of Ingram Micro. The one which you see on a daily basis is the IMTS, which is the technology solution, which is the distribution of hardware and software solutions on a regular basis. And that's a global business unit. And then IMC is the Ingram Micro Cloud, which is also a global business unit, right from HQ to each country where we operate. And we have 2 other business units. So this entire enablement series around cloud is all part from Ingram Micro Cloud. Just a quick snapshot about Ingram Micro. We have global strategy on the cloud. It's not just that we are selling because we want to sell one product of cloud. We are doing this because we have a very strong global focus strategy. We made lots of investment. We have up to 200 cloud vendor relationship like Microsoft and many others, but Microsoft is being the top 2 to 3 vendors for us. We have our own marketplaces running in 18 to 19 countries worldwide, and Ingram Micro's Gulf marketplace is launching in the October during JATEX. We'll be making that big announcement of the launch of marketplace here as well. We have also acquired multiple countries. The recent ones are Odin and Ensign. These are one of the big leaders in the cloud space, and they are now part of our company portfolios. Worldwide, we are about 1,500 plus associates or employees, and 50% of them are engineers. What does this tell you? This tells you that we are not just focused on selling, but we are also focused on building those platforms and integrating that for all of you. We are a 100% channel focused company. We do not sell direct. It all goes through you. So we are a 100% channel focused company. Some key facts. We are, as of today, while we speak, we are running CSP program for Microsoft in 45 plus countries. We were the best distributor for Microsoft, awarded by Microsoft in this WPC. We're running marketplaces in 20 countries. We have 4,000 shared services experts sitting in 3 different locations of the world, working 24/7. We manage more than 75,000 tickets for our partners as part of CSP, with over 150 plus technical support agents sitting in these countries, which is Manila, Sofia, and Canada. We have 1,500 plus associates worldwide, which is employees under cloud, and we have a very strong enablement program, and this is one of those programs which we run. What's our global strategy? Our global cloud strategy is to go after these different categories of solutions. It starts as infrastructure, security, communication and collaboration, business application, and services. Services is becoming a big focus for us. We understand that lots of partners want to sell cloud, but they sometimes do not have those know-how and knowledge to either position, consult, implement, and even support their end customers. And this is where we are bringing those services functions as Ingram. We want to fill all the gaps. We also not only want to give you a full breadth of cloud products and portfolio, but we also want to help you with lots of services. So that's something which is our global strategy, to add lots of product portfolio, but also with services. So before we get started on to the CSP, I just wanted to give you a quick glance on what is the segmentation we are looking at and what we want to show you. What we really want to show you is, from a public cloud, whatever you're selling today, it all falls into public cloud. So Microsoft Office 365, Azure, Skycake, you name all those products which we are onboarded, all of them fall into public cloud category. What is private cloud for us? Private cloud is anything which a customer is trying to build on his own data center. So that's private cloud for us. Public cloud is all running out of the vendors. So public cloud's potential, it looks something like this. So from a public cloud perspective, small business is the huge potential, and that's why it is in the biggest chunk. The transaction value might be small, but the number of transactions and the number of users are huge. It directly correlates to the population of the country. So if you are in a big country, lots of population, then you have a huge potential on cloud there. Same goes with the next is enterprise. It's not as many enterprises are not there as compared to small business, but then that's a big deal value there. Then comes government and education. And what we are trying to currently do is we are trying to set up all our practices to cover and onboard those vendors and solutions which can be sold to across the board. So we don't want to say that, hey, you can sell this product only to small business but not to enterprise and not to government. You can sell this to all of them, Government will not buy for their own reasons, but then they can potentially be sold if they are willing to buy it. So CRM, security, infrastructure, communication, collaboration can be sold to anybody. And then comes the vertical application, which is very specific to an industry. So right now we are focusing on this piece, which is very niche. Every partner who is transacting today on as an IT company can transform to cloud services business and start and build that cloud practice along with us. Another important slide, which I think makes a lot of relevance in this part of the world and anywhere in the world, is to understand which segment is easy to sell for cloud, right? Small business is the segment where, if you see this slide carefully, the red piece is the security and privacy concern. Who has the maximum concern on security and privacy? It's the government sector. And as you move towards small business, those concerns starts going down because they are looking at big brands like Microsoft, and Microsoft is a very strong, trusted brand among these businesses across the world. So small business to trust on Microsoft Cloud is pretty easy, and that's the reason you will not have lots of resistance. What it tells you is go and start from small business, and then you move towards the enterprise to start selling. What's the next block? The next block is the benefits of the cloud, which is OpEx model, mobility, agility, availability, and scalability. These are strong benefits of cloud, whether it is SaaS, PaaS, or IaaS, it doesn't matter, but these are principles of cloud which stands true in any application, any scenario. And these are more relevant for, I would say this is the maximum of that benefits are relevant to small businesses to the maximum, and then it starts slowing down or tapering down to the minimum to the government, because these big companies have invested on their data centers, so they don't feel that these are direct benefit to them at this point in time. And then comes the growth, right? So eventually it's all about number of users and number of people using cloud. So which is the fastest growing sector? It's small business. So with all these conditions, it's clear that you should start from small business and then move towards the enterprise and government side. So that's something which should be your starting point. So if you are a company wanting to get into CSP and cloud business, and if you take a route from starting from enterprise, your success rate will be there, but then it will be slow. But if you start from the other side of the spectrum, which is starting from selling to small business all the way up, it will be much easier for you to get into the business. So from here, I would ask Aishwarya Jain to take over. She is expert on CSP. She's been supporting the whole region for CSP for me and the Ingram Micro Cloud division. She works very closely with all Microsoft team internally in all 7 subsidiaries which we have, and also with the Microsoft team in each country. So I'll hand over the presentation to her, and she will take care of the CSP program and how to position and sell. If you have any questions, feel free to stop us. Just shoot the questions, and we will take those questions either in the middle of this presentation, or we'll anyway go over all the questions at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul, for the introduction. First of all, I would like to thank you all for joining for the webinar session today. Without any wasting time, let's get on. What is Microsoft CSP program? I don't really want to put a question on what is Microsoft CSP program, because a question is like learning something new, and learning something new would be taken relative to something which is complex. So I want to give a very straightforward clarity. We are not going to learn anything new here, but we are going to learn a profitable side of selling the same things which we have been selling. So Microsoft Cloud products, we've been selling under open, but how can we sell it in more profitable way? Let's look into it. So the first slide says, for what is Microsoft CSP program, 4 things. You're going to see that it's future ready. What do we really mean by future ready? Do you know that Microsoft team in itself is divided into two, old Microsoft and new Microsoft? So the old Microsoft takes care about the on-premise business, which now is only 30% of the overall Microsoft business. 70% of Microsoft business focus is on cloud. So if you understand CSP and if you learn today, make a little investment of time today, definitely you're future ready. Second, it is built for cloud products, no doubt about it. Even we've heard news in WPC wherein they'll be selling hardwares also under a monthly plan, but this is far. Today, cloud products can be sold as a future ready product with great customer ownership. How? We're going to find it soon as our discussion flows. And the fourth thing, now we know what we have to sell as a partner. Cloud is the future. We know what are the products we have to sell. But what is the right way of selling it? Do we really want to compromise on our margin? The answer is no. So how can we sell it in higher margin? That the answer to it is CSP. So let's find it out how. Now, I've given you an idea of what kind of cloud products can be sold under CSP. It is Office 365, Azure, Dynamics, CRM, Dynamics Acceptor, and also Enterprise Mobility Suite. So anything which can be sold under cloud can also be sold under CSP. Coming to what kind of transaction or how the partners are selling cloud services today. Either you as a partner would be selling to the end customer as an advisor or under EA, MPSA or the commonly known program Open. So let's try to have some understanding on it. When you sell under advisor, you're just making an advisory stand and directing your end customer to Microsoft and telling them Microsoft is going to take care of the payments and you're just advising the end customer. So you're not owning that relationship. In Open, you sell and transact. So you own the billing, but you still somehow do not have customer ownership. What I really mean is, let's say today I buy 10 licenses of Office 365 as an end customer from you as a partner. Tomorrow when the renewal comes, I have the freedom to go to any partner and ask for quotation. And again, the partner which gives the least price or the best value wins the deal. So today, you might have a customer and tomorrow when the renewal date comes, if the customer gets better price somewhere, he would go away from you. Now, how do we actually address these problems? This problem is addressed by CSP, Cloud Solution Provider Program. So what happens is you not only sell to a customer, you transact with them, you manage them, you support them, and you scale them. This means that the complete cycle of a software as a solution is the responsibility of you as a partner to be delivered to the end customer. So no more, you no more act like only a partner and sell it to an end customer. You become the front face of Microsoft and go out to your end customer and sell it. Coming to key benefits of CSP. Now, everyone's been saying CSP is one of the best ways to go about it, but let's actually dig deep and understand why CSP is the best way. First point, monthly billing. So here is the flexibility. My relationship, which is Ingram Micro's relationship with partner, is going to be monthly billing, but you have the freedom to bill your end customer monthly, quarterly, half yearly, or yearly. So our relationship is straightforward. What you can do is you might ask your end customer to give you an upfront payment of the whole year and you can pay us monthly. Or you can share the advantage with your end customer. Especially in today's market situation where no end customer or most of the end customers, to be rightly put, they don't want to give an upfront money. This is the best way of going out there and saying, hey, you can get the best product of Microsoft. You don't have to pay me upfront money. You just have to pay me a little money every month and I'll take care of everything after that. So I hope this is clear. In case anyone has any questions, please write it on chat and I would be very happy to answer. So I'm done with monthly billing. Also, there's one more important thing actually which I should highlight in monthly billing. It is prorated. So let's say a customer wants to buy licenses of Office 365 Business Premium today. I will charge them on pro rata basis. I will not charge them even more for a day, which means it is actually genuinely the most simplest way of saying pay as you go or usage based model. So we're not charging you even a day more. And in Azure case, we're charging the partner or the end customer based on per hour. So you're not paying even a penny extra. Just want to keep that in your mind. And also, this information should be passed on to the end customer. Now, coming to flexibility, this is really interesting. Now, CSP program provides three kind of flexibilities. A, addition of users. Now, how it is a flexibility? Under open also you can add users. But you know what the point to note is? Let's take an example. Today, I want to buy 100 licenses of Business Premium, Office 365. Now, on 25th of next month, I want to add 10 more licenses. What will happen on this edition is the renewal date of both the subscriptions will change, right? So you need to go to the end customer and you need to, is there a question? Yeah. All right, I'm going to address that question in some time. I'm going to speak up with what is flexibility. So in flexibility, what happens is, I was explaining about addition of users. So if someone wants to buy on 25th of another month 10 more licenses, their renewal date will change, which means as a partner you have to keep track of two renewal dates, right? And on both those renewal dates you need to make sure that the end customer sticks to you and does not go to any other partner. What happens in CSP? Now that's the beauty. What will happen in CSP? Let's say 100 licenses, same case, 100 licenses of Business Premium today, and next month on 25th, you want to add 10 more licenses. You know what is going to happen? For those 10 licenses added, it will be pro rata charged and the bill would be given on a single date for 110 users. So A, you don't have to worry about changing renewal dates. B, you don't have to worry about retaining the customer and approaching that customer 2 times, which you had to do under open. So this is the benefit of addition of users. Coming to the B benefit, which is deletion of users. Now imagine what kind of flexibility you have in hand. You have 100 users today, and suppose you want to drop down a function of one of the subsidiary in meta region, and their consumption is of 10 users or 20 users. Under open, if you buy licenses of cloud, it's not possible. You've already made an upfront payment, you have invested the money. Even if you fire 20 people as an end customer point of view, you've already made the investment, you've given the money. Nothing can be done to that. Under CSP, today, if you have 100 people or 100 users, and tomorrow an end customer would want to fire 20 people or delete 20 users, they can do that instantly. They can do that and they will be charged on pro rata calculation. So let's say on 25th of month, instead of adding 10 users, they wanted to delete 10 users, then they can delete it and they will be charged only till 25th, only till the cancellation is achieved. So this is amazing flexibility. You can add users without renewal date being changing. You can delete users and you don't have to pay anything extra after the cancellation of subscription is done. So you can reduce from 100 seats, total 100 seats, or you can remove 1 seat, 2 seat, 3 seat, anything of your choice. The third flexibility which CSP offers is change of plan. What is the change of plan? Like, well, let's say there are 5 end users who have Office 365 E3. Now they want to shift to Business Premium. Under open, what they'll have to do is they have to buy 3 licenses of E3, then 3 licenses of Business Premium. But under CSP, if you have 3 licenses E3 and you want to change the plan, you can do that in the same subscription, but you will be charged pro rata. So let's say from 1 to 15th of a month, someone got E3, that person will be charged for E3. And after that, if they want to use business premium, they will be charged for business premium. So this is the 3 key differentiating flexibilities which are offered in CSP but are nowhere offered in open. And actually they are the loopholes in selling the same cloud product under open. I'm going to take a quick look and see what the questions are. So addressing the first question, what will be contract period with customer? Shafiq, thank you for answering, thank you for questioning me on that. First of all, under CSP, it is an evergreen contract. So you can go to your customer and say that it's a 1 year contract and you can have the services with us for an year, and you can close that services as and when the end customer wants it to be closed.
Let's put it in this way.
Okay.
So the answer to this is there is no contract period. Okay. The minimum commitment is 1 month, but that is also not there. Customer can cancel it anytime. That flexibility is there. So the whole thing is around flexibility to add, change, and cancel the services anytime. But what Aishwarya is trying to say is use that flexibility to close the deal in your favor, right? When you go to and sit with the customer, and why should a customer buy with you under CSP is you can tell them that you can sign a contract for a year with you, which is for 12 months, but then there is an easy exit clause, which means they can cancel the things anytime and they can reduce it, or they can completely cancel the subscription and move to the another plan also. So flexibility is to the core. So the real answer to that is there's no contract period from Microsoft to us and from us to you, and should be the same with your customer. But the fact is that while you sell, you should have some contractual obligations between you and your customer. From Microsoft, there is nothing, but then you should, because you will, when you are selling it, you need to ensure that you're billing the customer, you're collecting the money. It's a lot of work, right? It's not something which is going to be easy, and it's not going to be something very smooth, right? So when you do monthly billing, you're doing 11 more invoices than the regular ones, right? So it really adds a lot of operational load on you, and that's the reason you need some commitment from the partner, from your customer. So that's around the contract period. There's another question which says, does the same flexibility applies on selling Dynamics AX under CSP? Yes, it does, but just to mention, there are some conditions on the minimum number of licenses of AX to be bought. As long as that is there, we do not have any problems in that. The minimum or maximum limit of licenses applied in CSP program to, yes, 50 is the minimum licenses, that is exactly. So for AX, you have to have a minimum 50 licenses that applies, but then the good thing is you can add, remove, all those things are still applicable on CSP. So all benefits of CSP comes with one more condition, which is a minimum of 50 buy. Yes, a minimum is 50, and then above you can add anytime. Correct. All right, so let's move on. And there's one more question. Is it possible to have OLP and CSP in the same program? Absolutely, yes. You can have a customer who is running OLP, and or let me put it in this way. A customer who has existing, for example, 100 licenses bought under open program, which is not yet expired, and he wants to add another 5 or 10 licenses right now, and he doesn't want to go for the full OLP 1 year subscription there. You can actually go and position them CSP for additional licenses, and they can live together. There's no problem in that. There's a question, if the client needs to extend CSP subscription, what should be the least time period to advise us? So it goes back to the same fact. There is no minimum period, right? You can start now, you can close the subscription within a month. There is no problem in that. So there's nothing called extension. So you need to treat CSP's billing model like a utility bill. It's like your postpaid connection of your mobile bill, right? So once you start, you can continue to use it as long as you want, and then one day you find that, okay, I don't want to use a postpaid, you just go and terminate it, and then you can switch to a prepaid, or you can say that I don't want to use mobile phone anymore, right? So it's up to you. So you want, it's up to you and your customer. So there is no specific minimum period. That's the flexibility of CSP. So it's all really boiling down to the fact that flexibility is the biggest sell in difficult times of today, where there's a lot of economical pressure, a lot of oil pressure, people are holding cash everywhere. This is your way to go and sell, right? This is something which will help you to sell faster. So instead of trying to, the customers are trying to delay the whole order of, let's say, thousands of dollars because they have no budget or they don't have cash. CSP can be the easy answer because they can just go and pay monthly basis, and when they have cash, I would say even with you have cash, you will still go and pay monthly. Have you ever seen somebody paying a loan of monthly EMIs to just going and paying upfront for 1 year? Everybody likes to pay monthly, right? So monthly is more manageable and easy. Another question is, if the customer is running OLP, say 500 licenses, but he wants to add 100 more under CSP, is it possible? Absolutely, it is possible. And those 100 licenses which you have added under CSP will go with all the flexibility. You can add, remove, change anytime. So it can run together. There's no problem in that. There's one more question. If client gives a notice to cancel, and can that be reverted or extended if they need? What is the least time period they can have to apply for an extension? So first part of the question is, what is the notice period they have to give? It is all operational notice period, which means if you need 3 days to notify us, and we need at least a week to 10 days to process your cancellation request. So I would say, in general, you should suggest at least 2 weeks of notice period or 3 weeks of notice period. But in reality, there is no specific notice period required. It is an operational. So which means if a client told you that on first of that month, if he has notified you that I want cancellation, by the time you notify us and we actually go and do the cancellation process, it might be already 3 days or so. So it is always advisable that you put in your terms and conditions that you need at least 10 days of notice so that you can get this request processed, so you don't get into the billing issues. The second piece of question is, what is the least period they can have to apply for an extension? What I'm assuming from your question is, if they decide to extend it, do they have to extend it for 1 month, or they can extend it for a few days? They can extend it for any number of days. So let's say the billing date is 1st of every month, and the client wants to extend it for another 1 week, he can do that. But then you need to just keep in mind that when there is an extension beyond the billing date, there will be some credit calculation which will be done. So I would advise, keep from a ease of operation, I would advise minimum 1 month. But then if a situation comes where you just have to bill the customer for 7 days, you can do that. But then you need to bear in mind that there will be some calculation to be done, and that might take some time to get that clearing at the end of the billing state. But there is no minimum date as such. One more question: how can we support partner for this deal registration in terms of securing the deal for him only? I'm guessing it is my internal team member. There is, if you have a deal, if you are working on, if you're working on if a partner is working on a particular opportunity, I think in Microsoft's world, the only point you can control that is when you place the order. The good news is, if it is CSP, once you place the order with us and Microsoft for a customer, that customer sticks to you until and unless he makes a request to change the reseller, which is a lengthy process, which means your ownership really goes well once you place the order on CSP, which is not the case under open. There's one more question. What's the Microsoft data retention policy under CSP? Is it the same as open? It is the same as open. I am assuming that this is with respect to the cancellation of the subscription and how long the data will be retained. It is still remains as same as open. There is no difference in that. How much is the minimum number of initial licenses which the customer has to get to buy under CSP? The minimum number is 1. However, the the recommended is the minimum actual number is 1, but then of course if you want to take 1 and want to place and process the order with us for 1, we don't mind doing that if there is a necessity, but then we recommend to keep that bar as 5. 5 makes sense because if a customer has added 1, it is bound to a situation that he will add 2 more after a few more days. So it's better that you tell your customer that always plan in batches of 5, but technically 1 is the minimum. There's lots of questions today. Wow. Question is, Office 365 Business Essentials support a maximum of 300 users. Is this the same? See, good question. The fact is, products remains the same. Microsoft has not changed the products and their way of plans. They have introduced a new way of buying it, which means if the Business Essentials and Business Premium and the Microsoft Business, which is just the Office, has a limit of 300, that will remain the same. It's just that those, when you buy it under open, those are 1 year. If you buy it under CSP, they are on a monthly basis. That's the only difference. Wow. Lots of questions, Aishwarya.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, let's move on to the next benefit. Which one did you cover? All of them?
Covered monthly billing and flexibility. Define your price.
All right, there's one more. There's one more question.
Wow.
What is the grace period for CSP? I'm not sure what you refer with grace period. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Maybe we can unmute him and he can speak.
I don't know whether I can do that. And the comment on that, maybe an extra time to renew after the renewal cutoff dates in renewing for some reason. All right, what I understood is there any number of extra days if we can get, is there any delay? All right, so this is around renewal question. So I think the first thing you should understand is it's a monthly billing model, okay? I always go back to before this. The service doesn't get the service doesn't get deactivated, first of all, okay? It's a monthly billing model, which means if you start the service, it will just keep getting renewed, billed again and again. What does it mean is when you actually start the service, and if your billing date is 1st of every month, 1st of that month it will just get renewed automatically and you will get an invoice for that. The only reason where you will run into problems is if the payment has been defaulted and Microsoft or Ingram has purposely suspended your account. That is the only case you need to worry. Otherwise, as long as your payments are coming on time, there is nothing called suspension. So what if somebody wants to cancel after the 1st of that month? No problem. Whenever they want to make a cancellation, take the request, place the request to us, and we will cancel that service. Even if it is 3 days after the billing date, you will be only billed for that date. What about the PO to AppTech? PO to AppTech, we have introduced a new process called order entry portal. We will show it to you in some time if we can move to the next slide. So we'll show it to you, and you can just place your request on that portal. We have got 4 different types of requests: new order, additional licenses, and what do you call change order and cancel of subscription. You can just make your request and we will do the needful. There's one more question. If another supplier is asking for quote to Office 365 renewal for the same customer we are already dealing with through CSP, what will be the response from the Microsoft distributor? The response will be very simple. If you, as a reseller whose MPN ID is linked to that customer for Office 365, one of the plans, that is locked out to you. It cannot be changed to another reseller. So this is all about customer ownership. You know, if you see the benefits, that's what is the key benefit. It is locked out to you. It is only going to be possible to change with a long, lengthy process where it might take few days and weeks with lots of justification. So it's a good news that you should go and push CSP, and it will just, the customer will be there for you forever, you know, as long as you serve them. Somebody is asking for my email. It is my first name dot last name at ingrammicro.com, which is rahul.bhavsar at ingrammicro.com. We will send out that after this session. What if, there's another question, what if we don't consume the entire credits? Can we add the remaining to the next month? I am not sure if this is a question related to Office. It looks like it is related to Azure. Can you please reconfirm this? Another question, so if the customer delays his payment to the partner and partner in turn delays his payment to AppTech, what happens to the service? Will the service, will the partner and the customer be notified of the service termination? Absolutely yes. Our internal process is that we will notify the partner for any payments overdue for 10 days with a notification that we will cancel this subscription or terminate this subscription within 7 days after that notification. So the first warning goes after the 10 days of overdue, which means if you have 30 days to pay, on the 40th day we will notify you with a warning, and if that payment has not come within next 7 days, we will go ahead and suspend that account until the payment has been paid. So it's a simple business rule. It applies to your electricity, telephone bills, everything. If you don't pay, they come and suspend. You pay, it gets restored. Yes, the first question which was there is about consumption of the credit. Just to let you know, Azure under CSP doesn't work as credits. It works on consumption. So if you do not consume any services, if you have not turned on any servers or storage or anything, you won't be billed. But if you turn it on and at the end of the month you consume something for some hours and some days, you will be billed for that. So answer is very simple. If you do not consume, you don't get billed. If you consume, you get billed. It's like your electricity. If you do not use any electricity, you won't get any bill. But if you use the electricity, you will get some bill. There's another question. How is the billing for Azure? It is like a postpaid. You turn on the connection, and if you consume, you get billed at the end of the month. If you don't consume, you won't get any bill. The account will still be there. It's like a postpaid connection. What if the end customer consumes the credit earlier than the time? There is no credit which you buy under Azure. It's like a postpaid connection, as it's not a prepaid. So in Azure Open, you buy everything as a credit, and there are chances that customer might consume and he might end up stopping the service, whereas in CSP that's not the case. It's just basically you start and you consume at the end of the month. Whatever the customer has consumed, he will be billed for that, and the next month will start and so on. Okay. All right, let's move to the next if there are no questions.
All right. It's great that anyone has any questions. Please put it up. We've had an amazing session. I think this is by far one of the best webinars we've had, wherein there is so much interaction. Amazing.
All right. So let's move on. Customer ownership we spoke about. The last one is upsell, cross-sell. This is a big topic by itself, but just to share with you, once you get the customer to look and get in touch with you with CSP, get started with you on CSP, the relationship has started, right? Now you can really call them as your customers, and then basically you can keep adding more and more services to it, like backup, like security, and so on. And we have already got a lot of additional services for all of you to go and sell. As of today, we have SkyKick fully launched, which has a backup and a migration product. We have a training product, which is about to get announced. We have fully onboarded that vendor called Cloud Academy. It's a training service. We have got Symantec security solution for Office 365. And we are onboarding the second biggest migration tool called BitTitan, again exclusive with Ingram across the whole region. So lots of stuff for you to sell. There's one more question. What is define your prices? Just give me a moment. I'll talk about that in the next few slides. It is very detailed, so we'll let you know. Just hold on. In Azure, if the customer is not even using anything, he will not pay anything, any bill, or he will get a minimum charge. He won't pay anything. If he is not using a single service, he won't get any bill from us. It will be $0. There won't be any invoice. The moment he consumes, even if there is a $1 bill, it will be passed on to the partner. It is partner's responsibility to pass it on to the customer. All right, so these were questions popping up. Amazing interaction, lots of questions looks like. So let's move on. So this is the engagement model. This is indirect engagement model. This is the model which Ingram Micro is positioning. We are not a direct partner, we are an indirect. Our entire business model is dependent on resellers. Our entire effort is to build and help our resellers to go and sell it to end customer. Microsoft deals with us for CSP, we bill you for CSP, and you bill your end customer. You own the relationship, we don't own the relationship. Customer is always with the reseller. Customer is never with the Ingram Micro. Ingram Micro will always support on sales, pre-sales, post-sales for CSP, but then that is between reseller and Ingram Micro. End customer cannot open a ticket with us, right? He always comes back to the reseller. So these are some of the key engagement model benefits. Now, where do you look for business, right? You need to look for these 4 things. All new business which you're trying to pick up, everything you can move to CSP straight. All additional license business which you're getting, any request from an existing customer if you're getting, you can move that straight to CSP. All renewals of open business, you can move straight to CSP. And all advisor, if you have any advisory business which you want to move and get more benefits, you can move to CSP. The reason you will move all these things to CSP is very simple. You go back to the same benefits of monthly billing. You can continue to collect money from the customer at whatever frequency, but you just have to pay us on a monthly basis. You can retain your customer. Your customer, once coming on CSP with you, for that particular plan, he cannot go to any other reseller. He comes and stays with you. So that is called ownership. So there are lots of benefits why you should move all of these type of requests to CSP business, and it's not limited to Office 365. It is opened up for Dynamics CRM, AX, and EMS and Azure as well. Okay. So quickly, what is the difference between Open and CSP? So Open is a prepaid annual prepayment. CSP is monthly payment. This is not flexible. This is a lot flexible. You can change plan, change user counts. Here the renewal dates keeps changing. Lots of frustration. We have a lot of people complaining that the renewal dates keeps changing, whereas here it's always fixed monthly billing date, right? So it's a big plus for many people who get started on this. So you cannot set your prices. We'll talk about shortly about prices and bundles. No customer loyalty. The customer doesn't get locked out to you, or customer doesn't get tied into you in open. Whereas here, your MPN ID is linked to that particular subscription for that customer's tenant, which means that the customer has to come back to you for that. Lots of competition. Here, everybody is selling under open. The guys who don't know what is services, they are also selling open program, right? It's all about selling licenses. Here, it's all about services. Under CSP, it's all about services. How you position, how you train, how you do things. So CSP is going to be always different. CSP is always going to be a game where only good cloud-focused services companies will be able to withstand. Lots of potential to make margins in upsell and cross-sell. So these are the key differences on CSP. Question: what if a customer has some issue with a partner and does not want to continue, or what if another partner closed down? In this case, the customer has to open a ticket with Microsoft, and Microsoft can authorize the other partner to go and take over the subscription. So that is the only way to do and deal with that situation. So it is in the favor of partners. The business model, whatever is there, is in the favor of business model in the partners. But just for your information, all other cloud vendors, they have this protection for the partners, so which is definitely good for you. There's another question: if customer wants, he can change the reseller, and if the reseller wants to change the disti to in the CSP, no. It's a business protection for everyone. So the only way you want to do is to go and cancel that entire subscription, which very rare that why you want to go and kill the subscription. That is the only place where you need to do this. Otherwise, the customer cannot change unless escalating it to Microsoft, and same goes with reseller. You'll have to escalate it to Microsoft to go and change a disti. So the whole idea is each of the business parties is investing time and effort and operations to go and build that business. So it's not so much in the favor of changing things, but it is possible. It's a process by itself. It's not just like go and place the order and you're done. All right. Some more differences. Open business looks something like this, but then the CSP business is looking something like this. It's fragmented by month, but then if you look at the effect, it is still a big chunk, right? So it's not. You should not compare that I'm getting a $10,000 order in open one time, whereas my monthly billing is like $800 a month. But then these $800 multiplied by 12 will become eventually the same amount, but it's just that now you have to do it over 12 months. Because this is how the world is moving. This is how everybody in the industry is moving towards, right? Some of the benefits, we went over this. Let's go. So this is what we are talking about, defining prices. So what we strongly recommend, and we have seen some of our partners actually picking this up and doing it. We have some very good success stories in different countries who have started picking this up. What we are saying is, don't sell the plan price as is. If Office 365 Business Essential is a $5 per user per month, don't sell $5 plus services. We want you to sell at a single price and add your $2 onto this and sell the whole thing as $6 or $7 flat, and you cover all of the cost into that monthly factor, right? So one price from you to per user per month, all inclusive, which includes your deployment, training, management, some backup add-on, and your support. All of this as a single package, which should be sold at a one price. And this is the only way you can control your discussion with your customer, right? Imagine you are talking to a buyer who knows everything about your business model. He has lots of insight on how to and where to squeeze you. But then if you give him a price which is very good, lucrative price for him, and it looks that he's not able to figure out how are you managing it, then it's easy for you to go and close the deal, right? So that is what we are saying. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Lots of customer ownership, and this is all about flexibility and customer ownership, right? So you have to own the customer, and you get a chance to own the customer in CSP. You don't get that under open. Very, very important factor for you to consider when it comes to CSP. There's a question called all these services are converted in, all these services are covered in your marketplace. Yes, these services are going to be covered in our marketplace. Our marketplace is launching in Jitex. All these services which we mentioned about Microsoft Cloud is covered. On top of that, we are talking about Skykick being covered, Acronis, and many other products along with that will be launched in the Jitex. Stay tuned. Lots of upsell and cross-sell opportunities. Why is the French fries there? French fries is a very classic example because that's the easiest upsell and McDonald's will do to you, right? You go and buy a burger, they will add a 5 dirham French fries to you. Pretty easy, straightforward, right? Easy sell, easy upsell. And that's what is the key thing to note, because once you own your customer relationship, which might be making you some X percentage of margin, but now that you know that he is your customer, you can always go back to him and say, hey, do you want backup? Do you want security? And that relationship is ongoing, right? That's where you get a lot of upsell and cross-sell. And Ingram is helping you here. Ingram is building that portfolio of products which can be easily sold as an add-on and cross-sell products. And this is what we are spending a lot of time in the background for you, that you don't have to figure out which products to go and sell. We are mapping that, we are positioning that, we are giving you all the trainings on those products also. Likewise, this, you have backup, you have CRM, we are bringing in a lot more tools for you to help you to do this. Another question. So if I don't have a technical know-how of something, can I sell my migration based on your marketplace so AppTech will fully own the migration without partners risk? Okay, this question is around services. As I said in the beginning, we already have onboarded 4 different teams to do your marketing and technical services for our partners. What does this mean? So we know that most of the partners are pretty good at selling and owning the customer relationship, and we really want you to focus on that. The next thing which we know that is you're finding it difficult to market, and you're also finding it difficult to implement and migrate things. So for that, we have started offering marketing services, not free to everybody. There is a price for everything, but it's a price which we are subsidizing because of the scale of the possibility which we are doing. So we are offering this to multiple customers, multiple partners. So the cost per partner is actually low. So we are launching marketing services. We have already done it for a few partners, but if anybody is interested, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to give you the services details and how much it would cost, and it would actually be more beneficial for you to go and take those campaigns from a very expert, which we are doing day in, day out, every day. The second piece is technical thing. So if you want us to do the implementation and migration, we have now a price range for each services along with different teams. We will be able to take those requests from all of you, so you can happily go and focus on selling, and we can take care of deployment. If you want to do deployment and you want us to take care of just the migration, we can do that. If you want us to do the whole project, we can also take care of that at a price. So answer is yes, we can take care of the technical services and marketing services on behalf of you at a small price. So this is some more details on how you can bundle a single plan. These are bundles of business premium, which is $12 per user per month. Just a sample that you should bundle your licenses, your deployment services and everything in a single price, like $14 a month. Same plan, but with some more things like cloud backup, and then advanced one with some more reporting tool. You can actually come up with your own pricing plan with your own combination of services and menus. And how does this translate to a profitability analysis? So let's look at three different scenarios. The first one is you as a partner is selling business premium under open 100 seats. If this is your price, this is just a sample price, okay? This is just an example which you're looking at. You're looking at this at 100 licenses, no services because you're not selling any services, you will get X margin, which is, let's say, a 10% margin. If you add your services to this, let's say you were able to sell implementation and training services along with this, and you made a little bit more dollars there, and your margin for the first year will bump up, but then your margin for the second year will drop down because those one-time services are gone. What we are saying is when you do a monthly model with CSP and you have only a flat number called $14, which is $2 more than your actual product price, and you say, Mr. Customer, I'll do everything, you just need to pay me monthly basis. So that's solid benefit to your customer that, hey, he's getting all of that, but then he's paying monthly, which is much, much better deal. And he will go with you than anybody else who is giving a lump sum price in today's world. And your margin may not be as big in the first year, but then because it's a monthly flat price, you're charging you on month-to-month basis. If you calculate it on a yearly basis, your margin remains the same, right? And the good news is because it's monthly, because it's not easy to switch between different resellers, this money to come to you is much more assured than the money in the open business, right? This is how we are looking at it. Now let's look at the last point, which is entry point. Which one is easy for you to sell? The one which is without services under open, the one with services under open, which is like a big dollar value of 17,000 or 14,000, or will you be able to sell and convince your customer at $1,400 a month, which is per month model? You need to think about it, go and position it. We had partners who were thinking that whether this will work or not. We just asked them to go and try with your customer, and guess what? They were able to sell and they picked up the order at a much better margins than actually going and losing dollars in competition under open. So it's a matter of you to go and try this, right? So what's the next step? Next step, you will have to make some changes in your approach, which we can teach you again and again whenever you have. Just let us know what you want and we'll be able to help you. You need to update your pricing, website, plans, your marketing approach. There also we are helping you. Training and implementation, there also we are helping you. Stay tuned for our alternate Tuesday sessions and you will be able to learn. We are also launching something called Azure Fast Track Training. It's a one full day training for Azure and Office 365 deployment training. If you have somebody who can install Windows 7 on a desktop or a laptop with Outlook and Office licenses he can install, we can train that kind of person to do a deployment for you. It's not a rocket science. I've done it in past for the last 8 years, and we are just getting that fact that a lot of partners, they just fear on what is deployment. There's nothing to fear. We have done it in past. We are more than happy to teach you, and we are going to be launching these fast track training sessions in each and every country. It's a one full day program only for selected partners who do strong business with us. Our criteria marketing will let you know, and we'll be training on both Office and Azure different workloads. You will have to be prepared for billing because CSP is not 1 year billing at once, it is multiple months billing, so you need to be prepared for that. Another thing, if any of you have a challenge in credit line with us, those things are now becoming better with Ingram Micro here or AppTech. For all partners who want to transact with us on CSP, will now be able to transact with much more flexibility on the credit limits and the payment terms here. When I say payment terms, we don't need now need a lot of conditions like checks and all those things. We can just come provide us some basic documents, and we'll be able to help you to get the business started on CSP. So reach out to our sales team across the countries, and we'll be very happy to roll this out for all of you to help you grow your business with us. These are some of the products, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because we are already overshot the time. So just skip a few slides. So this is what we have, lots of enablement sessions. Stay tuned with us. We have already launched some of these, I think all of these programs. We have released Cloud University, Connect and Eco for our partners. If you haven't got it or you don't know about it, just reach out to us on our sales at ingrammicrocloud.me, and we'll be able to help you with that. If you need a discounted marketing services and professional services, again, please reach out to us with your request. What do you need? You need marketing, you need deployment, you need migration, just let us know. We will facilitate that at a much better price for you to go and build your business. So some of the products which we have already launched, Skykick is launched, Acronis is launched, Knowledge Vault and other products are getting launched. So stay tuned from us, and if you have any further question and answers, feel free to let me know. A lot of healthy questions today, so we can definitely feel that you guys want to sell CSP and you have lots of questions. So let us know what you want, and if you have any questions, feel free. All right, if you do not have any other questions, okay, there is some questions. How to become a partner for CSP with you? Do you charge a fee for that? No, we do not charge any fees. All you have to do is register with us as a reseller, provide some documents to open an account with us and get some credit line, and that's it. Once you do that, you will be able to place an order with us, and we will be happy to help you in all the areas, which is sales, marketing, training. Your success is our success. So the more you do business with us, it's good for us, right? How do I get prices, and what would be the margin given? For pricing, you should just reach out to your respective country's salesperson. I'm not sure, where are you from, Ahmed? Can you let me know which country you are from? You're from Saudi. So Apex Saudi is going to be there. Sufyan and his team is there. So we will pass your details to them, and they can get in touch with you so that you can get started on that. There is one more question. How many resellers you can appoint in the same region? There is no limit as such, but then obviously we don't want to make it like a fish market. And to be very honest, there are not many resellers who understand this very quickly. So I would say in next 12 months, you have a lot of time to really jump on this right now and build some nice business until everybody figures it out. And it's not about just Office 365. We have lots of products. So once you are done with Office, we can teach you how to sell many other products also. So and cloud is not a game for everybody to come and sell licenses. Cloud is all about services. So right now it's not crowded. It's better you jump into that. So that would be my advice. All right. There's a question, will we get the access to your marketplace? Absolutely yes. Stay tuned. Please come to Jitex, come to our stall. We will give you a demo, and we can go through the process of onboarding you when you be here, and we will give you the access to the marketplace once the formalities are done. Absolutely, very happy to do that. All right, any further questions? All right, thanks a lot, everybody. It was one of the productive sessions so far in the last few months because lots of questions. I think it is clear that all of you really want this, want to sell this. I have 3 poll questions which will take just 2 minutes. Request you to just answer it for me, and that will close the session for this. So the first one goes now. If you can just quickly answer these poll questions for me, it will be easy for me to gauge what is happening in the market. All right, I'll share the results just to let you know what everybody has filled up. It's a good healthy mix that most of you are selling open, but then many of you are also started doing CSP. So we are in the right forum. Just let us know what you need. And if your orders are not coming through us, then something is wrong from our team. We will ensure that all of us reach out to you and get those orders placed on Ingram rather than anybody else. So next question, please. This is about what you are aware of under CSP, and this should give me an understanding where we need to run the further future sessions for you. So if you could just quickly answer these. All right, it looks like most of you are aware of the benefits, but then half of you are not very clear about the program. Many of you are not clear on direct and indirect models. So I think, I believe Microsoft team is also on the webinar. I think we all should run one more session for all the partners to give them clarity on the program, as well as the difference between direct and indirect. I think we will take this as a strong feedback and get back to you with a schedule for the session, which will give a lot more detailed insight about CSP program. And the last question, please. All right. The results are again clear that you need a lot of help on positioning. You need marketing services from us. You need help on sales, and you're okay to have. I think you guys have a pretty decent understanding on the CSP program. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. We are already over time, but then I really thank all of you to stay tuned and attend this session. This recording will go up very quickly on YouTube, and you will get an email with the link of the YouTube. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.